Hello and welcome to this video. On this video we're going to do a differential fluid change on our 1995 Mercedes S320, and in order to get started you need to get some synthetic fluid like this for the diff itself. You want to get 2 quarts. It holds just under 2 quarts. You want to get a pump that if you need to pump this into the top of the differential you can do it. You need a 14 millimeter hex like this and a breaker bar and a suitable drain container, and also some cardboard boxes and things to put underneath because it's a little messy and it does stink bad. You're going to need some gloves as well. And always take the top plug loose first. Make sure you can get it loose, because if you take the bottom one loose and drain it and you can't get the top one out, you're going to be in a heap of trouble. And that's happened to friends of mine because sometimes people put extra strength Loctite on those plugs. And so having said that, we're going to show you underneath the car where we're going to be working, and we'll get started here in just a second. Okay, the top plug is on the driver's side of the differential up in the upper area, and on the passenger side you'll find the drain plug, which is the lower part of the differential, and you're going to drain the fluid out there. But you'll definitely, again, I want to remind you, take the top one loose first to make sure you can get it loose. So having said that, we'll get a suitable drain bucket, we'll open the bottom, and we'll start the drainage process. Okay, we have the 2 plugs out, and we've cleaned off the magnetic part of them and cleaned them off, and now we're ready to put some thread sealant on. The Mercedes manual recommends OptiSeal, which you probably can't find over here. So we're going to use some Permatex Teflon type seal. It's high temperature, it's not high strength, so it'll be able to allow the plugs to come out with no problem, but it'll just make a good sealant for them. So we're going to put some sealant around the threads, and we're going to torque them in at 50 Newton meters, or at least we'll torque in the bottom one first, and then we'll go ahead and add in the diff fluid and then torque in the top one once we've reached the top, and we'll tell you more about that in a minute. In order to add fluid back to the differential, you're going to need to take a pump like this one here and insert it into a container like this, and you'll be able to pump it in slowly. It takes a while, and you'll pump it until it actually overfills slightly and starts to leak out, and that's how you'll know when it's full, and you can put the top plug back in. So I'll get the top plug ready, I'll get this all set up, and we'll pump it in, and then we'll come back and show you what the old fluid looked like. Okay, our differential took about 1.5 quarts of fluid. So here's the old fluid. It's quite opaque, and so we're going to put it into a used fluid container and take it to recycling. And then here in a minute we'll show you what the finished job looks like from underneath the car. Okay, so here's what it looks like all finished and cleaned up. We torqued the top drain plug in at 50 Newton meters, just like the bottom one, and cleaned everything off the exhaust that dripped on it, because it'll start smelling bad when you drive. And everything else is cleaned up and it's ready to go now. So that's all there is to this job. Pretty easy job. Took only about an hour. So there you go. Thanks for watching.